Swansea Animal Rights March. Yeah, about to start, like 10 minutes. I'm really excited. We've got lots of people. New faces, old faces, all here for the animals.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
I'm Jennifer Trinka, I'm the founder of Vegan Action Wales and the local organizer for Anonymous for the Voiceless. We are here today for the first Animal Rights March in Swansea. Today we're going to march along the streets to demand animal rights. We all have beloved pets, and we love them, we treat them well, but we are thinking today about all the other animals that are used for entertainment, fur, clothing, for animal testing and for food. So we demand animal liberation today. So we think that animals have got feelings, they suffer, they feel pain, they are sentient beings, and they need to live their own life. We don't own any life, and we think they need to be free.
We'll stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love.
Are having the best life they deserve, because we treat our pets equally to us. But what about the other animals? Many people see them as mindless creatures, or as food, entertainment, resources. This is what we call speciesism. But other people think that all animals have emotion, and can feel pain, and have the same fundamental rights, animal rights. Animals are not for us to eat, experiment on, wear, abuse in any way. Animals are not tools or products. Therefore, they all have the rights to live their own life without suffering and free from any form of exploitation. Woo! Woo! We are all here today to not demand a better welfare system, but to stop animal cruelty. We don't want larger cages. We demand no cages. Woo! Woo! We don't want better way to exploit animals, but we demand animal liberation. Humans have no right to take advantage of animals for their gains in farms, labs, shows and entertainment, hunting, fishing and clothing. Animal rights means that all animals are entitled to the possession of their own lives, far from human infliction of suffering or harm. Animal cruelty exists and should not. Animal abuse exists and should not. Animals feel pain, fear, they suffer and are vulnerable. They can't speak our language, but we can today, marching along together, because animals are here with us, not for us. Woo!
What do we want? Animal liberation! When do we want?
Just starting to grow. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Hi, I'm Kieran the chef, and I have my own YouTube channel called Kieran the Chef because I don't think it's right that people are using animals as ingredients.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you.
My name is Aaron. I'm an organiser of Vegan Actions Wales and Anonymous for the Voiceless, and we are here today in Swansea to speak up for the forgotten victims of this planet. Each year humans kill over 3 trillion sentient beings, and we feel that this is entirely unjustified, since it's been proven time and time again that we can be healthy and happy as vegans. consuming 0 animal products. So with that in mind, what justification do we have to take away their most precious gift of life, or to pay someone to take it, when they have a desire to be free, just like we do? That's our message.
I stand with you today in the greatest demonstration for animal rights that Swansea has ever seen! A day like this always brings me home to see that so many people have come together for our collective moral obligation to stand for what's right. For your compassion and your courage, and for being the animal's voice, I thank you. They need each and every one of us now more than ever, and this march wouldn't be the same without you. You know, it's mind-boggling that in 2019, in an era of such brilliant cultural richness and technological genius, most people are oblivious or apathetic to the suffering their choices cause. And it's down to such a small fraction of the population to expose the truth and pave the way to a better world for humans and for our animal cousins. Let me just remind you about what they're going through right now. They're being mutilated without anesthetic to stop them eating each other when they go insane. They're being genetically modified and pumped with drugs and hormones. They're thrashing and screaming in gas chambers. They're being strung up by the legs and stabbed in the throat. And for what? A sandwich and a frappuccino. This is not okay. This will never be okay. The animal holocaust is a cancer to our civilization, and we will not accept it any longer. Today and every day, we march against the grain of a misguided society. A society who draws arbitrary lines between those who deserve respect and those who are commodified and forgotten. I say we scrap those arbitrary lines. Because the question is not can they reason nor can they talk, but can they suffer, in the words of Jeremy Bentham. And animals can suffer, they do suffer. And that is enough for us to grant them liberty and to fight for their freedom. Being a vegan in the colonist world may feel quite isolating at times, as though you shine too bright for this world. We are the kindling, beacons of light in the darkness. We don't have to be alone, and we're brighter when we shine together. I personally met some of the most amazing and inspiring people since I started my animal rights journey. I've realized that only by working together can we eliminate speciesism and get the animals the freedom they deserve. Speciesism is the enemy. The people who mock and judge a more peaceful way of life are yet more victims of a broken system. Did you know that light inside you? Everyone has the potential to shine that same light. Our mission is to raise the collective human consciousness so that people don't want to harm animals anymore. And we will never back down until the slaughter is over, and until speciesism is just a stain in our history books. Today we rise up for the animals, and their voices will be heard.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I will swallow my pride. You're the one that I love, and I'm saying goodbye. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
My name's Johnny. We're on a beautiful day in Swansea to march for animal rights. It's very important that people realise where the food comes from, the cruelty involved, and to get to know what is involved in factory farms, and just not to whitewash over it and pretend it's not there.
So we're all here today for the very same reason, to stand side by side against humanity's treatment. Whether students, doctors, firemen or teachers, walk with us today to show love for all creatures. We are all born equal, loved are helpless and small. Some of us grow up to be strong, rich and tall. Though animal lovers we crown ourselves, the term is bittersweet, as we take away the ground from beneath their feet. The land we share with animals, we claim it as ours, destroying all we can until the soil sours. The soil planet to walk on, with feet, paws or hooves, it belongs to us all, not just to whom man approves. The circle of life has been bent out of shape, with slaughterhouses and farms surrounded by barbed wire and red tape. This isn't what we're here for, our purpose is more, until every cage is empty, until we've unlocked every last door.
Hi, my name's Lyndon and I'm co-organiser at Cardiff AV and organiser at Newport AV. And I'm here today because I think it's really important that we get out and we speak up for animals, because animals are discriminated against every day, and it's just such a prevailing form of discrimination, and unless people speak out about it, and unless people show and demonstrate the cruelty that's going on every single day, then it's just going to continue, because people don't understand it, and it's something that they don't want to look at. They look the other way. So we need to get that message out there so people understand it. So we're going to march through the streets of Swansea today, and we're going to speak out for the animals, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why we're all here today.
It is very fitting that we all stand here today facing a great symbol of animal oppression, a place where animal lovers sit, and dine on the body parts and the secretions of animals. And we will not be silenced, we will speak up for the animals! 2 years ago, I started looking for the optimum diet for my running. So I went onto a plant-based diet. And it was only 2 days later that I watched a film. A film that I'm sure you were all aware of. This film was called Earthlings. And it shocked me to the core. Because I realised how our treatment of other sentient beings was so wrong. And I realised that I had blood on my hands. And that day, I became a vegan. I realised that we are all living in a broken system. And we have to speak up and speak the truth. We have to defend the animals. And in defending the animals, we will defend our children. I'm going to read out something now that I'm prepared to say today. As I said, as vegans, we're all born under a cruel and broken system. A system that is fueled with ignorance, deceit and apathy. And today we speak out against this broken system and give a voice to those who suffer unimaginable pain and torment at the hands of their human captors. Today we stand for justice. And every day our numbers grow greater and our resolve, it grows stronger. And every street, in every city, in every country will be touched and eventually overcome with the truth. People are waking up. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I'm standing for animals. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. That's got nothing to do with it. Step away. People are waking up, but some obviously don't want to.
You can't love animals and eat them.
As vegans, we must be brave and do the right thing. It is never enough to not contribute to their misery. We must fight to stop it and stop light is cast through the darkness, and the doorway to their salvation and liberation grows ever brighter. So let every vegan shake off the shackles of apathy and face us to our obligations as those with the eyes to see and the hearts to care. And let nowhere be free from the light of this great and noble cause.
Go vegan!
All the animals!
We want freedom!
All the animals!
We want justice!
All the animals!
Go vegan!
All the animals!
Go vegan!
All the animals!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
What do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Hello everyone! I don't know many of you. I come from Reading today. Thank you, Jennifer, and everyone else for having me. So my name's Indigo, and I've been an animal rights activist my whole life, so it's all I've ever known. I can say without a trace of doubt that the greatest gift that I was ever given is that I've never eaten animals. I've never eaten a burger like these people. I'm so lucky that I grew up visiting sanctuaries and knowing animals as my friends and not just as a commodity. When I started school, it was so baffling to me that other people actually ate animals. They had dead animals on their plates. The idea just couldn't register in my brain that people would want to hurt my friends. Even now, if I'm driving home from work and I see a truck packed full of poor babies on the way to the slaughterhouse, one of my instinctive reactions always is, how dare they? How can they? Or, you know, when I sit outside of a shop selling fur or outside of a university that conducts horrific, useless experiments, how can these people treat animals in this way? I remember being in year 1 at infant school and having to eat my packed lunch alone on a bench outside of the school dinner hall because the smell of dead animal flesh cooking made me feel so sick. I've been privileged. I've been so lucky that I was born to the most amazing, inspirational, activist parents. So I grew up in animal rights. Activism in general is something that I'm so passionate about. I don't think that any of us can imagine our lives without it. Being vegan is one of the greatest choices that someone can ever make. Not taking part in exploitation is the greatest thing that you can do, but being part of actually inciting the change, being part of helping others become vegan, ending the unending cycles of misery and fear and pain and death, it's a duty for all of us. It's not enough just to eat a plant-based diet. Being vegan is synonymous with being active for animals. Nowadays, our actions are slightly different to what I remember when I was little. There was a lot more direct action back in the day without all the Alexas and the CCTV cameras that we all lived through. I remember being at marches with my mum and dad, even when I was in a bunk, just like this. And I remember when I was about 6 or 7, we did a 3-person walk-in style demo at my primary school, where they had the hunting hounds do a display on the school field. There were only 3 of us. There were 3 of us, but we made our signs, we walked onto the field that day, and they never came back. So it doesn't matter how many of us there are, it matters that we do it.
and me, producer Kieran and Kieran. If you follow our page, you probably know them. Our YouTube channel is called Kieran the Chef. They do the vegan recipes. And today they're going to read us a poem.
Hi, I'm Kieran the Chef. Hi, I'm Carl the Chef. And today we are going to read a poem for our Animal Rights March. Are you ready? Yes! We're fighting to set all the animals free, to release them from slavery and man's tyranny, and we'll never give up until each one of them is free. It's our pain and it's hurting, and the truth must be given by the fearless and driven, for the times they're changing. There's no one to save them except you and me, and we'll never give up on them until they are free. If it takes us a lifetime, that's how it must be, and truth will win out in the end, for justice and right surely overcome might, and the times they are changing. And when you're downhearted and filled with despair, don't give up the fight, for your comrades out there, and together we'll banish oppression and fear. And the world will be happy and free, and our hearts will be filled, for no more will be killed. Oh, the times they are changing. And with banners unfurled, let us shout to the world. Oh, the times they are changing. Animal liberation!
I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you.
Boys, honestly, that was amazing. Brilliant. Absolutely. Well done, you. Round of applause, everyone, surely. Come on. We've done amazing today. I'm blown away to see everyone here. I can't believe it. Your speech blew me away. Absolutely incredible. Where's Linda? Linda, absolute machine. Where is it? Linda, incredible. Outside Burger King. A gentleman came up to you, but you stood your ground. That's what veganism is about. It's about standing our ground. Now, there's going to be people around us today looking at us like we're idiots, but we're not. We know the truth. McDonald's across there. We know exactly what's going on, and we need to fight till the very end. And I know that we will, every single one of us. And when somebody says to you, oh, don't push your views on me, don't say that. Think about those animals and what they're going through every second of every single day. And I know that all of you care about animals, absolutely. I mean, I've got a daughter, she's 8. There are a lot of children here today. I am genuinely worried about the future that we are going to leave for them because of industries like that. McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. It's madness, but we're here today and we're standing up for them. And I can't wait to see us all next year and how many there are next year. Alright guys, have a good one. Cheers. Thank you. Bye 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 bye.
Couldn't get to you. And anywhere I would have followed you.
It's a new day, it's a new plan. I'm waiting for you. Here I am. Here I am. Here we are, we've just begun. And after all this time, my time is up. Here we are, just me and you. Tonight we'll make our dreams come true. It's a new world, it's a new start. It's so alive with the beating of young hearts. It's a new day, it's a new plan. I've been waiting for you. Here I am. Here I am. where we belong. Oh, new world, it's a new start. It's alive with the beating of your heart. It's a new day, it's a new plan. I'm still waiting for you. Here I am. Right next to you. Suddenly the world is all brand new. Here I am. Here I am. Right next to you. Suddenly the world is all brand new.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. And anywhere I would have followed you. Oh.
I'm also really surprising. But anyway, obviously, thank you. Just to introduce myself first of all, I'm the founder of Animal Justice Project. Yeah, obviously, thank you to everyone who's come along today. So as some of you know, Animal Justice Project focuses mainly on animals in laboratories under our Campus Without Cruelty and Lifeline campaigns. We set up Animal Justice Project in 2014 on the back of a wave of oppression against activists campaigning to end vivisection. We knew that there needed to be change in how we do things, and we wanted to create an organisation that the public would get behind and support. We wanted to open the doors to students, in particular, so that we can teach them why using animals in their studies is not only morally indefensible, but also scientifically flawed. Having said that, if animal experiments were to be deemed of any use, we still wouldn't support them. We made a decision as an organisation to focus on universities rather than contract research organisations like the previously named Huntingdon Life Sciences and Covance, because we believe that this is where we're most effective. We do support, however, those who continue to fight against these multinational companies and those that have given up their own personal freedom to fight for those who are oppressed. Our organisation is made up, after all, from animal rights activists. We'll support a diversity of tactics and those who carry out direct action. We'll never campaign for welfareist reforms or solutions that involve anything other than animal liberation or justice. One of our most recent campaigns, Lifeline, has enabled us to work also for the animals exploited by the meat, dairy and egg industries. Over 1 billion farmed animals in Britain are killed each year in around 278 slaughterhouses. This includes over 10 million pigs, 15 million sheep, 14 million turkeys, 15 million ducks and geese, 982 million broiler chickens and over 2.6 million cattle. Add to that, of course, over the 4.5 billion fish and 2.6 billion shellfish, you have a total of over 8 billion animals being killed in this country right now, every year. These are obviously staggering numbers, and ones which we decided we can't ignore. Change is coming, but it's coming slowly. We're seeing increasing meat consumption around the world, and we need to seriously question the supporting of leading meat and dairy companies because they simply bring out a vegan product. Over the past few years, some animal rights organisations have begun campaigning for free range and higher welfare farming. A good example of this is a campaign by several animal rights organisations, not just here in Britain but in Europe, advocating for the European Chicken Commitment, which these groups say helps to eliminate the most cruel farming practices. Some organisations even go so far as to promote meat eating. A statement by one of these organisations to meat companies so that they would support this chicken initiative goes like this. Using higher welfare chicken means you can offer better quality meat and healthier, more nutritious food to your customers. Meat chickens are the most farmed land animal in the world. 7 billion are reared in Europe every year. And 90% of these birds are crammed into barren sheds in conditions that anyone with even an ounce of compassion would object to. So it's normal for people to ask around 60% of the birds never even leave their sheds. They're free-range sheds. Can you imagine living your life in a shed with 40,000 others? Chickens feel emotions just like us. Pain, desperation, fear, and I think we can do better. We believe that campaigning for slow-growing chickens or free-range farming is confusing to the consumer. On one hand, people here are told to go vegan to end animal suffering, and on the other, buy high-welfare animal products and cage-free to reduce their suffering. When consumers go into supermarkets, they look already for free-range, high-welfare or CCTV-monitored labels. These campaigns only reinforce the idea that it's justified to eat animals. They reinforce the idea that animals are merely products which we could use and dispose of at our own pleasure. Animal Justice Project believes that we don't need to regress and ask for welfare changes. It's our job as animal rights activists to demand justice for all animals, not bigger cages and not free range. Whilst pigs continue to be killed routinely in gas chambers, mother cows are continuously and forcibly made pregnant so their babies can be stolen from them. And trillions of fish are pulled from the oceans each year to be counted only in terms of how much they weigh en masse. We won't stop campaigning for their rights. The slow progress is even more difficult when it comes to animals in laboratories. Despite the massive rise in vegan products in supermarkets, the large public figures on animal experiments within Britain show a tiny reduction from the year before. In 2017, 3.79 million animal experiments were carried out. This is only a 4% decrease from the year before. This is pathetic, and it shows how much work there is to be done by all of us for animals in laboratories. One of our goals as an organisation is to encourage vegans to think about animal use in its entirety and not just be plant-based. This will in turn have a knock-on effect across all the animal exploitation industries. And so Animal Justice Project continues to shine a light on animal experiments and to continue to educate the public so that they know an end is possible. Over the past year alone, we've exposed the horrendous suffering of primates being forced to breathe toxic fumes thanks to German car companies. We've exposed the secretive experiments at Bristol University, the abuse of rabbits at Nottingham University, the crippling mouse experiments at Cardiff University, the quadrupling of animal experiments at Kent University, and the extensive recreational drug experiments going on right now, every day, inside universities across Britain. We've carried out stunts outside university gates and symposium, organised light brigades in major cities, co-hosted World Day Full of Animals in Laboratories, launched a nationwide campaign, Cures Not Cruelty, against British Heart Foundation and Cancer Research UK, and sent hundreds of vivisection lifelines free of charge to animal rights groups across the country so they can get out there and speak out for animals who are so often forgotten in our movement. Right here in Wales, only last month, we exposed some of the worst experiments we have ever seen on rats and mice inside Cardiff University. A university killing over 50,000 animals a year in their labs. We found researchers have been subjecting animals to brain damage to see the effects of party drugs such as speed, MDMA, ecstasy and cocaine. They've been attaching steel rods and electrodes to these rodent skulls. They've been gluing glass windows and aluminium plates into their brains and inducing crippling diseases. They've been leaving animals for months on end to suffer so they can monitor seizures. They've forced rodents to run on treadmills while their heads are restrained in devices and inject drugs into their eyes. To end with some good news, a recent Murray poll only came out this week showed that support for a ban on animal experiments is at a 16-year high. A staggering 75% of respondents called for more non-animal approaches, and 32% of people just don't trust the industry. Ending their suffering and the suffering of the billions of animals on farms is not only achievable with eating plant-based food. I urge you not to sit back and assume that the world will go vegan. It won't. It needs each and every one of us to get up, please join your local group, whether that's Anonymous for the Voiceless, Earthlings, Save Movement or Animal Justice Project. Talk about vivisection. The animals in laboratories have waited long enough. And instead of simply buying vegan products, bring about the liberation of animals by getting up and fighting for it.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I'm feeling so small. It was over my head, I know nothing at all. And I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love, just starting to grow. Say something, I'm giving